Saudi Arabia's stone camels are older than the pyramids. These sculptures were only found in 2018. Initially, researchers thought they were 2,000 years old, but a later study discovered their true age. This so-called camel site dates to 7,000 to 8,000 years ago. The sculptures depict camels. They're located in northern Saudi Arabia. The site features the oldest large-scale 3D animal reliefs on Earth. For example, the pyramids of Giza are just 4,500 years old. Even Stonehenge was only built around 5,000 years ago. Researchers dated the carvings through a chemical analysis. They also examined tool marks found at the site. Ancient artists carved the images into rocky spurs. They depict about a dozen camels. There are also two unidentified equine animals. They may be donkeys, mules, or horses. Archaeologist Maria Guanin says,
"They are absolutely stunning, and bearing in mind we see them now, in a heavily eroded state, with many panels fallen. The original site must have been absolutely mind-blowing. There were life-sized camels and equids, 2 or 3 layers on top of each other."
The Neolithic artwork was made without metal tools. The carvers used tools made out of a stone, called chert. It was brought in from at least 9 miles away. They would have needed some type of scaffolding. The carvings stretch quite high along the rock face. Carving each relief took between 10 and 15 days. The ambitious project was likely a communal effort. Some of the camels have bulging neck lines and round bellies. These are typical features of the animals during mating season. This suggests that the site was tied to fertility. Hunters and herders were very dispersed and mobile. It was important for them to meet up at regular times. They would meet throughout the year to exchange information. The camel site was probably a place for communal gatherings. The sculptures were re-engraved and reshaped over time. This is evident in the patterns of weathering. Apparently, Neolithic communities repeatedly returned to the site. Its symbolism and function were maintained over many generations. Today, the camel site sits in the middle of a desert, but 7,000 years ago, the Arabian Peninsula was mostly grassland. It was much wetter than it is now. The region's inhabitants built thousands of stone monuments, known as mustadiles. They range across tens of thousands of square miles. Were the camel site and the mustadiles built by one group? It's impossible to say, admits Guanin.
Part of the difficulty in dating the site is that there are no parallels to it. So it was difficult to imagine what it was linked to.
She says that Neolithic animal artworks are usually 2D, but the camel site is unique, with its high relief.
It looks like the animal is coming out of the rock.
The camels shown in the images were probably wild. Camels were not domesticated until 1200 BC or so. Neolithic people in Arabia herded cattle, sheep, and goats. They probably hunted wild camels. The camel site is threatened by erosion. Researchers are planning to preserve it. To learn more,